Hey there. I was just vibe coding. Isn't this what I'm supposed to look like? No? Oh, my bad. So I've got dozens and dozens and dozens of ideas. I am basically going to be building this stuff live because I'm really excited. I have not been this excited in probably 5 years since I was kind of into SEO. And when I first found that, and then now, like, this is kind of my new excitement. I'm seeing that, like, what's happening in this industry, like being able to build stuff and create an MVP is pretty amazing. So, and I've seen crazy projects from other non-developers. So all the developers out there, you're probably not going to watch this, but if you do, you can laugh at me as I do this. But developers are pretty blown away as well. Okay, what I'm gonna work on today, like just hanging out with you guys, is this credit card tracker. I'll just give you the quick background on the why for this project. So, whatever, you have credit card offers. So we have a bunch of different credit cards that will make money by. For example, you spend like $3,000 in a certain time period and you get cash back, or $1,000 and then you get cash back. Well, like, if you're going to do that, you can actually make real money in a year. You just have to be really careful, and you have to track those cards and you have to pay them off in full. Well, what happens is it's hard to track those things. Like, yeah, I have them on a spreadsheet, but I just found a card yesterday where we were paying a minimum payment and I couldn't find the information on the deal. So we had to call the credit card company and speak to them for like, well, not speak, we had to be on hold for like 20 minutes just to get in touch and say, hey, like, what's the promo offer on this card, so that I could record it. And that's what led me to build this project. So this credit card tracker. So my goal is to build it. My goal is to build it for myself and possibly have others be able to use it as well. So that's the background. That's the background for the project. I'll go through the not just the thinking, but I'll go through kind of what I've done so far, and then I'll spend, I don't know what I'm going to spend, maybe 30 minutes or so on it today, and then we'll see like where we get. So what I did originally was I actually I created a project scope using, like, ChatGPT or Grok or whatever. You can use any of those tools. And actually, I think I used both and then I compared them. Let me go through. Yep. So I outlined my idea. Yeah, I can actually pull these up and I can show them to you. So I outlined my idea so I put the same scenario in both ChatGPT and Grok. I said, I want to create an online tool that can help me track credit card offers and deals. When I sign up for a credit card, I want to be able to track the bonus offer, the length of time with 0% interest, how long I have to start making payments, and other things. What do you suggest is the best way to create this? So it gave me some ideas on like the best way to create it. And then at some point, basically, I asked I asked it for an outline, right? So I want to build a tool for myself, maybe something I can sell to others. What do you think is the best solution? So basically, it created this like outline. So it gave me something to start with. And by doing this, you'll learn new things as well. Like, you'll learn like different tech stack items. You'll learn like back end stuff that like I don't know anything about. Like, I don't know this stuff and I'm learning. Like Firebase, I just learned what Firebase is. It's owned by Google. I also learned what Supabase is. It's an open sourced like backend that stores all the data for stuff. So like, think about when you're on a website and you enter in the information. So when I enter in my credit card information, and we're not going to have sensitive data. You're not going to enter in like your credit card numbers or anything like that. You're just going to enter in the info on like the deal for the card, and then it'll help notify you. But the backend data, you have to have a database that stores that stuff. And when you sign up, you have to have a system that does that, right? That has these people, and so that authenticates the person, the user, like verify an email address. These are all things that you have done when you sign up for stuff, and that's like kind of the things that you have to build. And so like in doing this, you'll learn that as well, right? So for example, for payment, I already knew like if I decide to sell this, I already knew about Gumroad. But Stripe is for sure what we would use if you want full control, for sure. MemberStack for login and man. So it gives you these ideas. And here's like an alternative no code to sell faster, which is interesting. So you can read through these and say like, oh, okay, like what would be, like what would be the best, like what could be the thing to use. And interesting, down here it recommends bubble.io, which I've heard of, and which is like another no code tool that I've heard of. I haven't even dived into, but like, so you can get lost in these ideas. Like you can get almost confused, like, oh man, there's so much to do or so much to figure out. But don't do that. Keep moving forward. It's going to be like drinking from a fire hose, but move forward. So I chose to build this in Lovable. Why? I just wanted to test the tool. I really hadn't gotten started going. Another cool thing about Lovable is that it is integrated directly with this Supabase company. And again, Supabase, let me just go to it just so you can see. Build in a weekend scale. It's an open source Firebase alternative. So start with your project. This is really what it does. So a Postgres database, which I've learned is just like, that's all the stored information for each user. Authentication. So that's kind of like that login information. Instant APIs, storage, vector. I don't know what all this other stuff is. I'm gonna learn as I go, right? I don't have a clue, but I tied in directly with Supabase. So I now have an account with them. Okay. So let me kind of scroll through. I'll kind of scroll through some of this stuff. This is where I started, and let's see that some changes that we've made here. Errors. When there's errors, you can just ask it to fix it. So I said, hey, this is a great start. One thing we need to do is send email reminders. So I first started this project before I knew about Supabase. So it built in like a login thing. It built in a CAPTCHA form. I was kind of chatting with it, and it did that. What did I ask it about, Vercel? Oh, what are the benefits of deploying from GitHub to Vercel? So I'm like asking it questions just about things that I'm learning as well, right? Can I use a custom domain with Lovable? And the answer is currently no. I think they're looking to start this soon. I heard some hints from them about that. But you would have to deploy it, which basically means like run it, just like running a website, like host it. Like deploy is like the same as like hosting a website. So you'd have to deploy it on something like Netlify or Vercel. So it's like hosting it, and then you can set up your custom domain through that service, just like hosting a website. Same kind of thing. So here I am. I'm still learning, right? Hey, I'm not sure if I need to directly integrate a payment system into the project, or if I just need to use Stripe to bill. I'll test the app first before adding this feature. So Lovable was recommending that, like, hey, let's like work on the UI, the user interface. Let's work on this interaction stuff, and then we can like go and start adding layers. So privacy policy, terms of service, refund policy. I was like, should we go ahead and wait, or should we go ahead and add these, or wait? I think originally it asked me to wait. I think I've added it now. Let me scroll down. How do I go back? At the landing page. So these are all the pages that we have, which is pretty cool. I think, yeah, so we got terms and conditions, privacy policy, create a free account. This works now because it's attached with Supabase, which is cool. So here I'm trying to figure out like how, so Supabase does the user authentication. Like I've only tested it once where I signed myself up an account, and I should be able to log in. In fact, I'll just go ahead and log in and just show you. I think I should be working correctly. So let's see. Oh, cool. So I just had the wrong password. All right, so here's what we've got so far. So I have like 3 sample cards in here, and here's kind of what this looks like. So I'll show you, so here's the dashboard, which is pretty neat. If you have something that's coming up in the next 90 days, it originally was 30 days, but I was like, I think 90 days would be better. So anything coming up in the next 90 days, it like gives you these notifications. So let me go to my cards just so you can see the details. So this page should work. So these are my cards. I have a $0 annual fee doing 6 days. Now I'm going to add a card. So at some point in my conversation over here on the left, I added the idea for me to be able to pull in like credit card data from, I don't know where from. I have to figure this out. And we had some chats on this, but like I'm hoping to possibly, I've got to maybe send an email out to the folks over at Supermoney, which I'm an affiliate of, and see if maybe I can pull in the credit card data. Like that would be kind of cool, because if so, then you could go here and you could search Citibank card or whatever, find the card, and it could pull in the information and then like pull in an image, which I think would be pretty cool. But for now, you just have to like manually do it. So Citibank card, I don't know what this card's called, but this is the one that we have. Annual fee, I think it's $0. So interest rate $0. Credit limit, I don't know. So this is kind of the 0% interest rate end date. So it has an end date. This is what we called about yesterday. So the end date's like July, but I think I want to put the month before. Ooh, which actually gives me a point here to maybe add additional notes. It's really interesting. Let me say below the perks and benefits, let's add a field for additional notes. So hopefully it'll code that and put that in the right spot. We'll see what it does there. I feel like it'll do that well. 15 Donnie gas. The reason I said that is because what I wanted to do was in the additional notes section, I wanted to say card actually renews like 7, 15, 25, or not renews, card interest rate. And that's what I wanted to put in the additional notes section. So it's not really perks and benefits. Let me go ahead and add this card and let's see if, all right, it's doing something. Internal error, dismiss. All right, I've added an additional notes field below the perks and benefits section. This will allow users to add information. All right, let's go see. Let's try to log back in. My cards. Let me go click on my card, see if it's there. Bam! Look at this. I mean, how cool is that? So additional notes. Add additional information about this card. So I actually want to put this information here. Okay. We have an error. It didn't save that. No idea what that means. Okay. So this is where I ask, I got an error when trying to update. And I wonder, so something I'm just thinking out loud. So I don't know this. So Supabase made like information tables. I think it's called SQL. I don't know anything about that. So what I'm wondering is does it have to update the table for that? Look at this. Look at that. That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh my gosh, I'm a developer now. I'm a developer. Not really. So, but that's what it's saying. It's saying like, hey, once you approve and run this SQL, we'll be able to add the additional. So, yep, SQL executed. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't understand about the SQL. I was told that like, hey, or I watched some other videos and I was told like, hey, yeah, you need to pay attention. You need to be concerned about like, make sure that those are all correct. So I think there's something there. So I do think, if I ever actually turn this into some application that I sold or like gave to others or something, I'd probably get that looked at or something, or just get someone to like confirm that with me or something like that. It's a quick side note. The fact that I, in my brain, recognize the potential reason for the error means I'm learning, because before there's no way I would have like had any idea of what the error was. Okay, cool. So additional notes. Let's try to add it again. Let's take it out from here. Let's put it into here. Let's see if I remove it from one and add it to another. Okay. Your credit card has been successfully updated. Nice. Now, I don't like that little purple on the back of these buttons, but whatever. That's like a feature thing. Small, no big deal. You just tell it what color to change. Let's keep looking at functionality here. What else do I need? What am I missing? Maybe comment below. Tell me what I'm missing. Now I'm gonna track this stuff in my email newsletter as well. So if you're not getting that, I'll update you on different projects, and you can always come back to these videos. All right, so let me go back up and continue the conversation so I can just catch you up with. Sorry, I kind of jumped into the app, but like let me jump back through and keep talking through like where we've gotten. Okay, so it was built. The system was building a way for me to like test and send email notifications and stuff locally. Keep in mind, I have no idea. Don't understand how it works, but then it told me about SendGrid and some of these other tools, which I had kind of heard of, but definitely never used. Definitely never used before in my life. Now, I have not integrated these yet, but there's a lot of these tools I hear. Now, Twilio, I have an account with, which I've just started using, but like so. SendGrid will basically, it's like a third-party service to help you send these emails that you need. So think about 100 a day for free. So like, you can, I think, move between these services. So once you get them set up, you can kind of rotate between them. But what this will be used for is, let me show you. So, and you guys can give me some improvement on how I can improve these notifications. So let's see, let's go back to my cards. I think this is where the notifications are. Where's the notifications? Dashboard, maybe? Interesting. So like, I was trying to find it, right? So maybe we would want to add that notifications button on the dashboard as well. So that's like a user thing, right? Let me go ahead and do that while we're thinking about it, and then I'm gonna show you the notifications. All right, so please add a notif. All right, the prompt I said was please add the notifications button to the left-hand column. Let me say as well for easy navigation. The reason why I just added as well is because I didn't want it to remove it from the where it is. But I think this left-hand navigation, I think it stays there, right? Yeah. So no matter what screen you're on, it stays there. So yeah, I think that'll be a good addition for functionality. And then once that's added, we'll try to click it. We'll see if it works. And then I'll show you the notifications. And bam, I'm gonna leave all that because that was in real time. I'm gonna try to, the video is probably my editor's gonna cut some of that out, but like that literally took like 10 seconds. All right, so let's click notifications. Cool. So here's where, now this is not set up yet correctly, but what I've got is choose when to receive reminders before important dates. So 30 days before, 15 days before. We'll probably adjust some of these because actually, one, I don't want that many notifications personally. And two, if I make this a commercial product, then I'm going to get charged for this. So yeah, I don't have the answer on what I want to change that to, but I think this will be one of my changes. So let me just go ahead and make that note. I'm just gonna write that down on paper and cool. So I made a note to potentially come back to this notifications thing. I definitely don't think I want it a day before. Maybe the last would be like a week before. So maybe 30 days, 7 days, maybe 45 days, 30 days. Anyways, no big deal. Yeah, and then they have this note in the MVP, emails aren't actually sent in a production app. This would connect to an email service. So it's kind of cool they put this note there for you. I do think we want to change this. What do we want that to highlight to? So the button is blue. Actually, why are the buttons a different color? Why don't they just all be blue? Let me go back to the front end. Maybe, so add card notifications. So like, do I want them the same color? I do like that it's blue, like, hey, cool, add your card. That's pretty important. On the add card page, find your card, add your card, cancel. All right, so what do we, I don't know. Let's just change it from the purple. All right, let me think about this. Okay, what I said is on the buttons that have the purple background, like the cancel button, please adjust the hover color. Originally I said hover, highlighted. I think I had it as highlighted color, but I changed it to hover. Hover color from purple to a slightly darker variation of the light gray color it currently has. I just thought it would be, hopefully it understands me, but I just thought it would be smart to write like in that much detail just to make sure it's like pretty clear about what I'm asking. I don't know. I've had a lot of round and round with colors and button schemes and stuff, and so I'm like, if you're given that information to like a developer and you need them to change it, like they would need that much clarity about like what you needed. So, why wouldn't this platform need just as much clarity? So let's see what it does. All right, I've updated the hover style, which will make them use a slightly darker gray. Let's see. Okay, didn't quite work. Because when I hover, now the text is white. All right, so, nope, here we go. Here's that issue I'm talking about. That's a good start. All right, so what I said is that's a good start, but let's make the hover color a bit darker and also make sure the text remains black for legibility. All right, let's try that and see what it says. A quick note, while we're waiting on that, this project is private, so I've set it on private. If you have a free version of Lovable, I think your projects are all going to be public, which means people can see them and they can kind of duplicate them and share them. And I'm not against that for this, but I paid $20 a month for the paid plan in order to have a private project. I guess in my mind, like my thoughts are like, well, if I end up if I end up selling this as an actual product that can help other people, if it, if this works for me and it helps me and I can sell it, then like, well, I should probably have a private project and protect the code. And that's another thing. You can add your code to something called GitHub. GitHub is a giant code repository. That's actually all I know about it. I bet if you have a ton of code, you probably have to pay for it. Unlimited private, okay, 2000. I don't know what any of this means and when you would need to public private repositories. Yeah, so I don't know when you would need to start paying for it. Obviously, if you're like running a company or doing really big things, you would then start paying for it. But I have an account on GitHub, and so what you can do, just as a quick side note, my understanding is that you can take your code, which is all being written here and functioning. You can store it. You can send it to GitHub and store it there, so that let's say if I need to use a different tool or bring in a developer to look at some stuff, like we can share that code over on GitHub, which is perfect, right? All right, let's see what it did with this button. I've updated it, set it to black. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, that's good. That is good. Slightly darker on the hover. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Cool. No more purpley, and we got a slightly dark. That's perfect. I'm not going to tell it perfect because I don't know. I want to respond to it, but I don't know if that costs me like messages or whatever, to be honest. Okay. What else do we need to change today? All right. I've made a decision to go ahead and adjust these notifications. So what I want to do, I'm going to ask it to adjust them to three potential options that they can choose. So 60 days, 30 days, and 7 days. Mostly this is personal preference, but my thinking is like, we don't need a ton of notifications. And like if it comes to you, like an email, you need to move that to your to-do list if it's something that you need to do. And the reason why I'm going as far out as 60 days is because, I don't know, maybe you need to arrange a balance transfer or like a payment on this card and you need some time to like arrange that or whatever. So yep, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. And what I gave it was, please change the notification frequency options to 60 days before, 30 days before, 7 days before. Again, being pretty clear, I could have just said 60, 30, 7. I'm assuming it would have kept all the text. I don't know, I just went ahead and typed it all out. And maybe, if we're feeling frisky, maybe we'll see if we can figure out this email notification thing. I don't know. It's a whole new world for me. I'll be learning live if we do that. I had another tool. Maybe it wasn't SendGrid. Maybe it was another one. I think that I signed up with. I think Lovable even like recommended me to it. Was it Sender? Sender.com? Let me go to Sender. No, probably not. It says unsecure. Definitely not it. Closing that out before it's something funky we don't want to all look at. Bam! Oops. Notifications. So let's make sure we can like check and uncheck them. Yep. So save settings. Cool. Seems to be working. So let's say I want 30 days, 7 days. I only want 7 days. Cool. Notification frequency. Something that I think would be cool would be to add in like SMS notifications. Definitely not doing that for myself, but if this was a paid tool, I think I would definitely do that because I think that could be a useful ad. Let me make a note on that. So SMS notifications button adjusted, done. Check. Notification settings done. Ooh, here we go. Okay, so email service configuration admin. Now I have this screen here because I am the admin. So now I can't remember if we created this before I connected to Supabase or not. I don't recall. I think what I'll need to do is create another account with test fallback. Create another account without mine, like with that's not my current user. So let me see how do I log out? Sign out way down here. It's not too bad. Okay, I was able to find that pretty easily. All right, sign out. Let's do this. Let's try to create another account live. brooksconkle@gmail.com. Just throw in a password. See what it thinks about this. Create an account. Please check your email to verify your account. Boom. And here we are. So I got this email. Now, a few things to note. One, it showed up in my updates tab in Google. Two, it's showing from Supabase auth because it's like coming from them as a third party. What I don't know is if you can change that within their system to send from your account. Like when I get a domain and then set up that email, can it come from that? I'm thinking so, but anyways, I think I slightly changed this message already in Supabase. It was like real generic, so I just changed it to credit card tracker. Follow this link to confirm. Let's see what happens. See if this works. Nope. Oh, let's see. I saw a video on this from Supabase saying like this will happen if you have something checked in the back end of Supabase. I don't recall what that was. So let me see. I don't recall what that was, but let's see if it allows us to sign in. All right, so it looks like it created the account. I'm going to have to go back and find out what that is. But that's something on Supabase. They were like, if something is checked. Actually, let me go and let's just look. Let's see if I can log in here. And all right, so here's the dashboard of Supabase. I'm logged in. I do not know. I'm learning this. I don't know very much about this. I think it was on the authentication. Nope. Let's see. Reports, storage, emails. No, that's the message that I adjusted, right? So sessions, sign up, sessions. I feel like it was in here. Allow new users to sign up. Third party auth. All right, so I don't know the answer. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But to add, this is kind of cool. You know how when you log in on websites and you can log in with your different accounts, you can do that with these guys. You can enable. Now I'm not doing it yet because I don't know what layers it adds, if any difficulties. Like in fact, yeah. So you already have to like add additional information. So. But that's pretty neat that you can allow users to sign in with different accounts. I'm not sure what I'll add, if anything. Maybe Google in addition to email. I see people doing that a good bit. All right, cool. So I've got to go back and find, okay, when people confirm their email address, why does it go to this dead screen? Oh, I think the answer is because this is not a live project yet sitting on I think that's what it is. Yeah, because it's not sitting on the web yet publicly, maybe. So it gives you that screen. Okay, that's what I recall. That's what I remember. Cool. So I set up this other user. I'm logged in as this other user. When I go to notifications, do I have this admin information? That's the question. Nope, I don't. So email service is not configured. Contact the administrator. Oh, how cool is that? That's pretty awesome. So it's like saying like, hey, you can't actually set this up. It's not gonna work. Oh, I love that so much. Oh, that's great. All right, so let's try logging back into the one that's the admin account. Just make sure there's no issues like signing in back and forth. Cool. Oh my gosh, so cool. So I'll log in. It's got my cards. It's got my data. This is all stored in Supabase because I'm attached to Supabase. Now, when I click this, you can see this is like where you do it. Let's see. Back to project. Okay. I don't really know. I thought at some point you choose what project, but maybe it's the only one that I have, and so it's showing that it's connected. If you just create something like this in whatever Bolt, Lovable, anything, it's not going to have this saved information until you set it up with something like a Supabase, which is pretty cool. The only one I know that connects with Supabase is Lovable, but I think all these tools are going to be doing that. Now, I don't think I need to I think if I try to set up this notification stuff, I have no idea what I'm doing. You're just going to be sitting here like staring at me and being like, "Oh, this is crazy." So I'm gonna learn a little bit on my own and then come back and try to do that. But I feel like in whatever 20 or 30 minutes or whatever we've done, made some nice progress on this, and we can continue moving it forward. And yeah, follow along. Let me know what I need to change. What do I need to add? How can I improve this?